Max has always had a complicated relationship with the press.
But what do you think the media could do better in your dream version of F1?
Don't ask that many stupid questions. Because if you ask me a stupid question, you get a stupid answer.
Especially when it comes to journalists as unbiased as the British media.
He's around the paddock, he seems very happy with himself. He doesn't seem to be a driver able to win a championship in a normal way.
So today, we're going to watch Max face the British press the only way he knows how.
By the way, we do have some listener questions that we need to get on top of because I'm very wary.
Question.
No,
Let's find out.
No stupid listener questions.
So,
that is Max Verstappen. I mean, it almost beggared belief, didn't it? Is that one of the best drives you've seen in Formula One?
I'm not one of Max's biggest fans, to be honest.
Really?
I'm one of these people. Yeah, no, I think he's massively overrated.
I have a quick question here. I mean, I appreciate all of you being here, but I don't see any British press. They have to run to the airport, or they don't know where the press conference is. You know?
Yeah, that's a fair question. That's a fair question.
You've given us a bit of a hard time in the British media for maybe focusing on our drivers.
And rightly so.
Having seen this, will you cut it out?
Oh my God, that is, you've done a great job. That's actually very impressive. Oh my God. That's a nice touch. I mean, I'm not going to take that myself, but I appreciate that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done. And like you said, you know, before I could only win it in the fastest car.
Exactly.
This year has been a little bit different.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
I was going to say...
En dat heb ik hem absoluut gezegd live bij Sky Sports.
Are the rules?
And we have to stick by the rules, Crane.
Yes, we do.
Just as we do in F1.
Just like you did in COTA. Everyone on about how you didn't get penalised. You clearly got a 1x as well.
No, but I
come on.
figured out the problem. I figured out the problem.
Crane, are you pregnant?
I have the wrong passport.
Max Verstappen, slightly spiky response to me, put me in my place,
Quite right.
put me away in the news conference today. When I quoted a paraphrase of his words to the Dutch media, which he said last week. And I think you spoke to the Dutch media and said you didn't think you could contend for victory here. Is that circuit specific and where your car's at, or are you particularly concerned about the pace you saw from McLaren?
Exactly that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you answered it for yourself. Yeah.
Where the FIA just released something, they said they looked at Oscar Piastri's, some of the bodywork around the brakes and how they're managing to keep, well, they didn't say, but the question is how they're managing to keep their rear tyres so cool. Are you happy in the team that that's all absolutely fine?
I've also never said that it was not fine.
No,
they're clearly doing something very clever,
Yep.
and you have to give them credit for it.
Okay.
20 seconds though you won by today. We're going back to the Red Bull of the past that was dominating. Is this car, do you not think it's got enough in these final two tracks? Because you've been good at a lot of different tracks now.
Yeah, it's all about the car.
I said you've been good. I didn't say it was the car's been good. I said you've been good.
David Croft, Sky Sports F1. Max, another championship year, but let's delve into a parallel universe, the one where Lewis Hamilton approaches Red Bull and Christian Horner says, yes, we're interested in you. He said that Lewis and his people reached out to Red Bull about whether there was any interest in driving. Checo's got a contract next year. But say he'd have said yes. How would you have welcomed that? What do you think would have happened? And would you like to race against Lewis Hamilton as a teammate in the future?
What would it add to know?
I'd love to know your thoughts.
No, because I don't know. It's not happening. So, you know, there's no point to make up stories. If my mom had balls, she would be my dad. So, you know, it's not happening. So,
Would you like it?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Doesn't matter. Anyone. Yeah, I don't want to put it like now particularly on Lewis, you know. I mean, there are so many great drivers as well. So, yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out like that.
Helmut Marko says he fears your Red Bull exit. Why is he saying that?
I don't know.
So he's getting the wrong end of the stick. You're not thinking of leaving Red Bull at any time?
No, I think just focus on commentating. I'll focus on driving. And then, you know, you don't need to think about any other scenarios.
We just worry about you.
Silverstone, you were angling to get Lewis some more of a penalty because he basically in your eyes, put you off the track and into hospital, and they feel that you didn't get any penalty for going wide off the track and maintaining an advantage, and so they're fishing for a penalty.
It's a bit of a difference, right? I mean, he still won the race, whereas in Silverstone I was in the wall, so those two are not the same. But of course, like I said before, they of course now they were upset by being disqualified, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not really thinking about it too much as well. You know, I'm just happy to be here and try again, because for me, Brazil, I finished second and we just move on.
And are you going to think about those head-to-head positions again? Are you just going to go for it, going wide, and that's just hard racing?
I mean, every track is different, right? And every overtake or defense is different, so you cannot talk about these kind of things.
But you would accept it if you were in Lewis's position and in somewhere like here or in Abu Dhabi or in Saudi, if he goes off the track,
listen,
pushes
if it
you
would
out
have been
wide,
the other way around in
it.
Brazil, it would have exactly played out like that. So.
And you would have been fine with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it's hard racing. We are fighting for a championship, you know. We're not here to be in a kindergarten, so yeah.
Well, it's all good fun. We're all enjoying it. It's all part
That's
of
how it should be.
The soap opera of F1 Championship.
Yeah.
So we're loving it. Harry, thanks very much. Hello. Just a question about going forward, the negotiation with the stewards or race director on whether places should be given back or what. Since Jonathan Wheatley went, obviously you've got Stephen Knowles who's doing it. I assume it was him who told GP to tell you to give the place back to George, which wasn't the right call. The stewards later confirmed that. How are you working that out with him? Obviously he's not been in the job too long since Jonathan's gone to Sauber. How are you working that out, that same situation doesn't happen again?
I think it's not really nice to try and single out a person, to be honest, because that's never the case. So I think we just look at it as a team, what we always can do better, and that's also how we look at it in Barcelona. But it's not fair to now single out one single person.
I don't think I was singling him out. I just named him. I named who he was, and Jonathan Wheatley's obviously a well-known guy. I wasn't saying it was Stephen Knowles' fault. I was saying that he has the new... Well, Jonathan Wheatley was a well-known guy. He was your rules guy, and now he's the new guy.
Yeah. So we're talking about him, so you're singling him out.
Okay, but he's on the pit wall. He's a fairly well-known
Well, I do not need to discuss that anyway here.
Okay,
you know, if we ever look at things that we can do better, we do that, like every other team. But I'm not going to stand here in front of a camera and say who was at fault exactly. I mean,
I wasn't asking
we all live and learn.
I wasn't asking you to do that. Just to be clear, I was asking how you live and learn. Exactly. I think you answered it. Okay, thank you.
And how could we forget Ted Kravitz's very professional comments about Max's championship?
I like today's script that, you know, seven-time world champion, almost said eight-time world champion, seven-time world champion goes into final race trying to be the greatest of all time and win championship, gets robbed, comes back. His next year's car is rubbish, or not rubbish. Next year's car is, in movie sense, his next year's car is rubbish. Doesn't win a race all year, and then finally comes back at a track where he could win the first race all year. Is battling with the same guy who won the race that he was robbed in the previous year, and manages to finish ahead of him.
Hi, yeah, Tom Carey, Telegraph. A question for Max. We understand that you took the decision not to speak to Sky Sports after the race and after taking pole yesterday as well, I think. And not just you, but also Christian and Helmut and Checo as well. Could you just explain a little bit about why you've taken that decision and how long you might keep that up for?
It had nothing to do with this weekend, but this year it's been a constant, kind of like digging, being disrespectful, especially one particular person. And at one point it's enough, you know. I don't accept it. You can't live in the past. You just have to move on. And you know, at the moment, social media is a very toxic place. And if you are constantly being like that live on TV, you make it only worse. Instead of trying to make it better in the world, you keep disrespecting me. And at one point, you know, I'm not tolerating it anymore. So that's why I decided to stop answering.
Multi-points thing. You're alongside George.
I don't need to hear it again. It's really pissing me off. I mean, you speaking about it on Thursday, it's such a waste of time. It's very childish. So that's why I also don't want to say too much, because it's really annoying, this world that we live in.
Okay.
The question for you, Max. You lost out to Lando by just 2 points. I'm just wondering what you think now about the incident with George Russell in Spain, whether you regret that, looking back on it in hindsight.
You forget all the other stuff that happened in my season. The only thing you mention is Barcelona. I knew that would come. Yeah. Are you giving me a stupid grin now? I don't know. Yeah. It's part of racing at the end. You live and learn. Championship is won over 24 rounds. I've also had a lot of early Christmas presents given to me in the second half, so you can also question that.
Max, why have you had so many accidents?
I don't know. And like I said in the beginning of this press conference, I got really tired of all the questions. So, yeah. I think if I get a few more, I'll headbutt someone.
Now, I've got a question for both you and Lewis now. There's been a lot of talk about what happened on the opening lap at Silverstone. If you two end up wheel to wheel after the start tomorrow...
Now, can we just already stop about this? Because we had so many questions about this. It's just ridiculous, honestly. Honestly, the whole Thursday, we've been answering this all the time. So can we just stop about it, please?
Okay.
We are racers, we will race. And of course, we're going to race hard, but fair. So we just keep pushing each other.
Lewis, anything from you? Okay.